Bully is a movie that came out 2011. It's about a few short stories of kids being bullied at school. So I had to watch this movie because so I had to watch this movie because I'm doing an assignment for class, right? I get a little choked up. But I thought it'd be nice to share with y'all. So it's about these kids who are getting bullied in school, and I wasn't really feeling it, but just like most movies, it just takes some time to pick up. And then you start hearing the stories of, you start seeing the kids being bullied. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm not gonna show the whole movie. It's something you should watch. I'm gonna give you a quick summary of it. So there is no clear main character in it. There's about all these other kids, but Alex Libby is basically the main person shown most on camera. And if you look at him thinking like, oh, he's kind of like weird looking, but keep in mind he's still a kid, and like most kids, they still haven't fully grown into their bodies, so you can't really blame him on that. But his looks alone is like a prime target for other kids to bully him. Keep in mind, these kids are addressing the problem that they're addressing the getting bullied by the parents, by the teachers, and correctional officers, but no one's really doing anything in the school. Some kids just get bullied just because they're really different. Like this girl over here, she's bullied because she's lesbian, and so other people just push her away and just treat her much differently. Some kids are just also put into like difficult situation. Like this girl over here was bullied by a large group of people, and she just wanted the bullying to stop. So she brought her mom's gun to the bus, which is really terrible. But she felt so pressured into wanting them to stop that she felt she had no other choice. And this scene right here, oh my gosh, I was so upset. I think this is the teacher or the vice principal, but how she handled the situation with the student was just so obnoxious. Okay, the student was trying to tell his story, right? But how she handled it, she's putting equal blame onto both of them, but she wasn't really listening to what he had to say. And so it was just such a terrible scene. I was just cringing. Felt so bad for that kid. So besides the subplots of the kids and how they're being bullied and how they live their lives, there's also this story of how kids are being bullied so badly that they're turning to suicides. There are two suicides shown in the movie and how the parents and kids are affected by it. Essentially, also there's this big thing where like, why isn't the principal or the teachers doing something to stop the bullying? And most of the response by the teachers is, oh, kids will be kids. But no matter what situation you're in, you should always feel like you should feel safe, especially you're a child. Like the person that came from you, that should be the biggest priority. And like, why aren't they, going out the way to protect their children? This girl was able to resolve her bullying by, accepting that she can't really fight it, but she's still gonna, make a stance on it. But she has her friends to keep her company and to fight through this together. This girl was sent away because, you can't bring a gun to school or to a bus. So she was sent to a hospital, but she was able to go back home. It doesn't say how many months she was at the hospital, but she was able to get back home with her family, and then everything was just all right. In the last scene, we see Alex talking to the principal how he's getting bullied, ask him to stand up for himself, and also at the end they showed like, oh, it's him talk about how he made friends and he's talking to girls and how girls are a complicated subject, which is, it shows his human side because he's still a teenage boy growing up. But I didn't really feel satisfied the ending for Alex, so I pulled up some other stuff. So this movie again came out 2011, but if you go type up Alex Libby, you just see some handsome man. I was like, oh my gosh, is that him? That's like the biggest glow up ever since this snotty boy meme over here. But besides that, I found his Instagram page, and you know what? That Alex Libby we saw before, he turned out to become a really handsome man. And you know what? Look at his Instagram page. It looks like he's having a really great time, and he's moved on from that bullying. And going back to what he said at the end of the movie, he talks about how women are complicated, how they're like pieces of candy. And look at his most recent post in 2018. I guess he found himself his own piece of candy. And you know what? I think he's much happier than he ever is now. To wrap things all up, I'll give you my 2 cents of what I think of bullying. So, bullying is a really sad thing, right? Those kids who are bullying, just because we're seeing the kids' bully side doesn't mean the kids who are also bullying have their own story. We just haven't seen it. So those kids are bullying. They're probably also being bullied by other kids, other friends, their own family. Heck, it's a common story of like, the dad bullying the son, and then his dad before him bullying the dad, his grandpa, and then his grandpa before him bullying his great grandpa. You get the point. It's something the kid learns, right? And then he just passes on to others because that's all he knows. The point is, what you can do to stop bullying, to stop being bullied, is if you see bullying, go stand up for yourself. You know what? If you're just gonna get pushed around, all that stuff, just tell someone, take the punch. Just say, hey, stop bullying. Or just, hey, quit it. And if they keep bullying you, then it's hard. You have to go turn away, walk away, run away, tell someone. You know what? Worst case scenario, fight. That should be like the very last option. But besides all that, don't bully. We only have a short time in this world. We should make the most to help each other out, to grow as people, to be one big unit. And I'm really happy I watched this movie. Have a good day.